All right, let's go ahead and open up that tile spawner script. So we've got two ways to go about that. In the project panel, we can go to the scripts folder, go to provided, and open the tile spawner script here. Or we can actually just select our game manager and double click on the grayed out script field right here. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll open up our script. And here we'll see all of the code, some of which I've already provided for you, where we're going to spawn our tiles. So if we look into our spawn tiles method, and this is called on start, so when we hit the play button, we've got a couple of for loops that are going to basically go through each of our branches, which is this for loop that I is less than branches.length. It's going to get all the transforms from out of those branches, so all those 5 transforms that we put the yellow dots on, and then it's going to loop through all of those transforms and then randomly pick which tile gets spawned. And we get that random assignment by getting a random number that is equal to, or the random number is between 0 and all of those chance numbers added together that we put in the inspector. And I'm going to show you those again. So that empty, draw, slow, and speed chance, we're adding all of those numbers up. And then if our random number falls between each of these values, we can figure out which tile should spawn. So, looking back at our script here, oops, I put the wrong one. We need to put in the code to actually instantiate our proper tiles. So, before we instantiate them, we need to declare a variable to hold our new tile. So up above where we say int random number, we're going to press enter to add some space and say game object new tile. And that's all we got to put there. And now in each of these ifs and else statements, we need to assign a game object to that new tile. So what we're going to say is new tile equals instantiate game object in those angled brackets. And then after the angled brackets, we have our open and close parentheses. And since this one is our empty tile, we want to spawn the empty tile. So we just drop our empty tile prefab in there. Next up, what we're going to do is actually just highlight this line by clicking and dragging our mouse over it, pressing Control or Command C to copy it, and we're going to paste it into each of these else statements. So all of these guys, we're going to drop that in there. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to we'll swap out the tile we're spawning. So this next else if is going to be our draw tile. So we're going to say draw tile. This one is going to be our slow tile. So slow tile. And then this last one will be our speed tile. So speed tile just like that. And then the else statement outside of this big if statement is going to be our win tiles. This is going to be the case that we've hit the final 3 spaces in our board here. The next thing that we need to do is we have these lists up here, these public lists that hold the position of our tiles. So each special tile, we have that assigned in a list so that we can check and see which tile we've landed on, and then the game will react accordingly. So what we're going to do is under draw tile here, we're going to say draw tiles with an S. That's our tiles list, and we're going to say add tiles.count -1. And that's because the count of our tiles is technically 1 greater than our tiles index in that list. So we're going to say draw tiles.add, and that's going to add every draw tile we spawn to our list of draw tiles. We're going to do the same thing for our remaining tiles. So slow tiles.add tiles.count -1. Same thing with speed tiles. We're going to say speed tiles.count, or I'm sorry, .add tiles.count -1. And then finally our win tiles down here, we say win tiles.add tiles.count -1. Great, so that's the code that's going to handle instantiating or creating, if as another word, our tiles. And in the next step, we're actually going to put them in the proper positions to fill our board correctly.